Welcome back to a new episode of Wheels of History. Before we tell you all about today's protagonist, we invite you to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more videos like this one. For you, it's just a small gesture, but for us, it's essential to continue sharing stories about vehicles that have left their mark on history. Today, we're heading to Mandello to uncover the story of the Falcone. It's 1950. A time when Italy is striving to rise from the rubble of war, driven by a fierce desire for rebirth. The country breathes hope, albeit with difficulty, and among the objects beginning to shape the dreams of Italians are two-wheelers. After the bicycle, a companion of daily sacrifices, it's the turn of mopeds and motorcycles, vehicles that embody not only freedom but also pride, competitiveness, and a rediscovered zest for life. In this atmosphere of renewal, motorcycle manufacturers compete through innovations. Gilera has already set a high standard of excellence with the Saturno, but Moto Guzzi, with its genius and audacity, leaves an unforgettable mark. In 1950, it launches the Falcone, a technical and stylistic masterpiece priced at a hefty 482,000 lire, a prohibitive sum for the time, yet destined to capture the hearts of enthusiasts and remain there forever. The Falcone represents the pinnacle of a journey that began almost 30 years earlier, when Carlo Guzzi designed his first 500cc horizontal single-cylinder bike, paving the way for a legacy that would make history. Carlo Guzzi's first project, dating back to 1921, was a marvel of ingenious simplicity. The engine, a 500cc horizontal single-cylinder, featured opposed valves and a mixed valve system, with direct intake and push rods and rocker arms for exhaust. The 3-speed gearbox was integrated into the engine block. Primary transmission relied on gears, the clutch was a wet multi-plate design, and ignition was powered by a Bosch magneto. With 8.5 GP, the bike reached a top speed of 80 km/h, an astonishing feat for the vehicles of the time. Over the years, Moto Guzzi's engine evolved without ever betraying its origins. From the 1923 Sport, which broke the 100 km/h barrier, to the 1928 GT, which introduced the revolutionary swing arm, to the Sport 15 and the V-Series with overhead valves capable of delivering 19 GP. In the 1930s, gems like the Condor emerged, a road bike with racing-level performance, 30 GP and 160 km/h, setting the stage for the great Guzzis of the post-war era. The Astor, launched in 1949, was the epitome of comfort and reliability, a perfect touring bike, foreshadowing what the Falcone would become. When the Falcone debuted in 1950, it was immediately clear that Moto Guzzi had created something extraordinary. The bike incorporated many solutions from the Dondolino, the racing powerhouse that dominated the Milano-Taranto race, but adapted them for a more civilian context. At its heart was a 500cc horizontal single-cylinder engine, equipped with a 29 mm Dell'Orto SS carburetor, a lightened connecting rod, and a 4-speed gearbox. The engine architecture, featuring the classic pushrod and rocker arm system and a dry sump, ensured durability and simplicity. The Falcone's chassis was cutting-edge. Its bolted double-cradle frame absorbed vibrations and simplified maintenance, while the telescopic hydraulic fork improved stability. Although the bike's dry weight was considerable at 176 kilograms, its low center of gravity made the Falcone exceptionally agile for its time. Available in Turismo and Sport versions, the Falcone distinguished itself through practical details and performance. The Turismo version, oriented towards comfort, featured a wide handlebar and an optional windshield, while the Sport version, with its higher compression ratio, delivered up to 23 GP and reached a top speed of 135 km/h. Starting the Falcone was a ritual in itself. The kickstarter needed to be operated with precision to set the massive piston in motion, and the resulting sound, the famous pum pum pum, was music to any enthusiast's ears. Riding a Falcone meant mastering a machine that balanced power and smoothness. The traction was impressive, the engine elastic and capable of picking up from the lowest revs with ease. On straightaways, the stability was unparalleled. In curves, the bike's weight was noticeable. But a glance at the open road ahead was enough to make any limitations fade into insignificance. Not everything was perfect. The 200 drum brakes demanded caution, especially on long downhill stretches, and the front fork, though innovative, struggled on rougher roads. Yet these shortcomings did little to diminish the greatness of the Falcone, which remained one of the most reliable vehicles of its time, capable of covering countless kilometers without faltering. Let's dive deeper into the heart of the Falcone. Simplicity and reliability, these are the virtues etched into the mechanical soul of Mandello's glorious half-liter masterpiece, a work of engineering that blends modern solutions with time-tested tradition. The Moto Guzzi Falcone, the quintessential single-cylinder bike of the Italian motorcycling school, represents the culmination of a journey that began in 1920 with Carlo Guzzi's ingenuity, when he crafted the first prototype destined to define an era. The engine's proportions, with an 88 bore and 82 stroke, remain unchanged, a sacred design principle, as does its unmistakable horizontal cylinder architecture. The engine, both robust and reliable, employs a pushrod and rocker arm valve train with two inclined overhead valves. Ingenious needle springs immersed in oil ensure long-lasting performance. The dry sump lubrication system, with its dual side-mounted pumps and separate oil tank, maintains optimal temperatures. The absence of an oil pan allows for an innovative arrangement. Beneath the crankcase sit the rear suspension springs, enabling the engine to sit lower and contribute to the bike's low center of gravity, enhancing stability and safety. The harmonious horizontal cylinder design and excellent heat dissipation combine with reduced vibrations despite the absence of counterbalancers. The balanced bore-to-stroke ratio, designed according to modern standards, allows for large valves, improving volumetric efficiency, while the shorter stroke minimizes mechanical stress even at higher RPMs. The Falcone stands as one of the most brilliant interpretations of the half-liter motorcycle of its era, avoiding unnecessary mechanical complexity. The sport version, with a compression ratio of 6.51, delivers 23 GP at 4,500 revolutions per minute, while the more docile Turismo produces 18.9 GP at 4,300 revolutions per minute with a lower compression ratio of 5.51. Performance is solid yet respectful of the design's longevity-focused intent. The cylinder, elegantly finned for optimal cooling, is made of aluminum alloy with a cast-iron sleeve. Inside, a lightweight alloy piston with a slightly domed top in the sport version ensures smooth and reliable performance. An intriguing feature is the offset positioning of the cylinder relative to the crankshaft axis, a clever technical choice that improves mechanical efficiency. The engine's internals are completed by a forged steel connecting rod with a split design operating on loose roller bearings connected to a monolithic crankshaft. The characteristic external flywheel, a distinctive feature, slows acceleration but enhances operational smoothness. Primary transmission is gear-driven, with a multi-plate wet clutch transferring power to a direct 4-speed gearbox. Ignition, managed by a magneto, features a maximum advance of 45 degrees. The Falcone's chassis is equally remarkable. Its continuous double cradle frame, a mix of bolted tubes and plates, ensures robustness and ease of maintenance. The front suspension features a telescopic fork designed by Guzzi, while the rear suspension boasts a swing arm with adjustable friction dampers and two horizontal springs positioned beneath the engine. The 19-inch wheels, equipped with side drum brakes, provide adequate stopping power, though they reveal their limitations in more demanding scenarios. The elongated structure of the Falcone, with a 1,500 wheelbase and a weight of 170 kilograms, gives the bike its unmistakable elegance. Despite its generous dimensions, the low center of gravity offers a rewarding riding experience, blending stability and safety into a perfect equilibrium. The Falcone wasn't just a motorcycle, it was a symbol of rebirth, ingenuity, and the uniquely Italian ability to combine simplicity with excellence. Even today, its legend lives on at rallies, in the tales of enthusiasts, and in dedicated clubs that preserve the memory of this extraordinary creation. Every time a Falcone engine roars to life, it feels as though time pauses, transporting anyone who listens back to an era of dusty roads, open skies, and dreams on two wheels. A quick reminder, engine spares and rubber parts for the Falcone and other vintage motorcycles can be found at www.thekingofpiston.com. The wheels keep turning, but the stories endure. Every bike tells a journey and reveals an era. We'll stop here, but the road of legends continues. See you at the next stop, always on two wheels, with another piece of history to tell. If there's a specific model you'd like to learn about, let us know in the comments.